And welcome back to Factorio, the Hyperbase, which is a very large gigabase, megabase, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it a Hyperbase because it's larger than my previous gigabases, or it will be eventually. At the moment we're in the very early stages. So we're planning out oil. I have just ghosted these with a blueprint to save a little bit of time. I've laid out 25, which might seem excessive. I'm kind of hoping my bots are going to hurry up and catch up to me, but given where we are, they could be anywhere along here somewhere. I'm not really sure where, so it could take a while. Oh look, there's some more oil over there as well. I did notice that there's a really nice oil patch just up here that we uncovered by coming up here. So 59 plus 90, that could be enough by the time we've got lots of mining productivity bonus to last us just by itself. But at that stage we'll have to rip this out and put a proper oil build in. But never mind, for now we are running with this. I've put this here just for a little bit of spacing so I can see where beacons might fit. And now we're looking at lube. What I think I would like to do is see what the advanced oil recipe gives us. It says we get 10, which is quite a difference because 25 by 10 is 250 versus 25 by 30 being 750. So we've got 250 every 5 seconds, or 50 a second if we wanted to be able to process all of that into lube. I'm not 100% sure if we need to, but the lube is 1 second, it does 10. So we'd need 5 lube machines to process the whole lot. Do we need 5? I'm probably going to create 20 of those electric engine units, which would need 30 lubricant. Would we need any more lubricant than that? Probably not. I can't think of anything else that would use lubricant at this point, so that would tend to suggest we only need 3 lubricant machines and the rest can go into heavy oil. Maybe I'll use 4, and if that is insufficient we can always come back, revisit the equation. So 4 lube machines, all the heavy can flow directly into the lubes. We'll do something like this with, and then something like that. And then we will go to something else, which will basically be a pump controlled into cracking. We'll crack this stuff if we need to, but that's the lube. And we obviously need some way to extract it out of here as well. And then potentially beacons, and after that point we would be going into some function of light oil. Light oil is good for solid fuel, which we'll ultimately need a lot of, but unless we want to power our trains by it, we don't need much of it at this early stage. We basically need significant cracking. So do I even want any convert to, maybe I do, and then convert to rocket fuel, but we're a long way away from rocket fuel. It doesn't need anything else other than the light. maybe what I'll do is I will just leave space for it. Then if we were to crack the whole amount on the more sophisticated recipe, being this one, we would be getting 45 times 25, which is 1125, which is doable via a single pipe. Then the cracking light to petroleum, we probably have to crack what we get from that as well, but the light oil to petroleum would be, we would be taking in 30 every 3 seconds. That 1125 is every 5 seconds, so we can divide it by 5. And we're doing 30 every 3 seconds. So if we multiply it by 3 and then divide by 30, so we need about 22, 23 cracking machines if we're to crack the whole lot. 22 and a half, it seems. This is why I got so many of these guys. I think I need to leave gaps on the cracking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So the likely scenario there is we come out somewhere like here, probably go into a pipe which will control, sorry, a tank, which will give us some level of control. That for solid fuel. That for cracking. That should be all we need from light. I forget which side of this takes water and which side takes the light. But that should do for now. So then the next step is we get up to plastic. And we can set that recipe right now. We're going to need coal. And we are going to need petroleum, of course. Alright, you can go to there. Actually, now we're going to need to also have petroleum come this way. So I might need to put a pump in here to control. In fact, that's probably a pretty good idea to do it. Plastic. So let's just see. This will give you 2 plastic bar every 1 second. So we need basically 13 machines per yellow belt, and we've got 4 yellow belts, so that's 40, 52. We basically need 52 machines. That might even be possible with the amount that we've got. We'll need a small amount of sulfuric as well, but 52 machines, huh? Okay. Well, it's 13 per yellow belt, so if we have 4 rows of 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I guess this just needs to be one long pipe. And coming down this side, actually I remember now, it ends up being a bit of a mess if we do it like that. So if I do it like this, I can have the I can have the coal come down the backside and give it room even under the potential for beacons. I might even have coal come in from the top, might make a bit more sense. And then we have room to empty them out this way. We probably don't have enough. And we're one short, of course. Something like that. And if we had that, we could use that as a bit of a guide to know where to put the next one. 1, 2, 'Where did it end up? Down here somewhere. There. 1, 2, 3. 4. So that would be the plastic build, and then we hopefully have enough left over to have a sulfuric acid build, and sulfuric acid is relatively simple. It just depends how much we actually need, I'm not sure. But the general idea is 1, 2, something like this, where you are making sulfur on both sides of the acid and acid in the middle. This thing makes 2 sulfur every second. This thing consumes 5 sulfur every second, so you're slightly undersupplying unless it is prod moduled up, but it's not too terrible. And that needs a bunch of water. This here might not work too well, actually, given the 2 feeds that it needs. Right, never mind. Let's break that up. Another quick blueprint. 1, 2, 3. So that in general is the build that we want to do. Our bots still haven't turned up, which is unfortunate. We kind of need to get this happening. Probably the best next thing to do then is to get a coal station up here. I just need to be a little bit cautious of the amount of space I might need for these yellow oil, light oil things, so we might have to be a little bit weighted sort of this way. In fact, I can probably find that oh, that's right, I got rid of all my rail, so let me get some rail. Let's work on setting up the coal station. Okay, we are by the coal patch. I've actually managed to find my bots. We're going to make a coal station so that we can start making plastic. Let's whack this down here. This is just that single stop that we're using. We're going to have to reverse. In fact, all of these guys are round the wrong way, so we pretty much need to pull them all out. And I'm so looking forward to that blue research. Why don't I simplify this a little bit? That blue research that will let me... let's just do that. Let me get faster bot speed, because my goodness, these guys are slow. If cannot insert... Okay, let's put some of this wood nonsense in there. Oh, we don't have any steel chests on us either. What are they? Steel oh, these are iron chests. Do we have... oh, we don't have the means to make iron chests. Well, we can use steel. There, we at least have one side done. This bit down here is not quite what we need. I might make a quick blueprint of it though. It's only going one way. No, maybe it's easier just to completely redo it. We need connections in both directions from down here. Just a very simplified form. And if we can get some, so you'd be coming along this way, that obviously you'd be going up that way. This one would be that way, this one would be coming up that way, that one would be going out that way, plus we need something in between. That may as well be one of those. And how far away is it? Oh, we'll put in an extra one on this side. And also, it might be premature putting that as close, but hey, it's what we're doing. And up here, I mean, I guess that's okay. They could be further down, and it would probably make more sense if they are, but never mind. Yeah. So, what we need then is blue inserters, which again This is not great. Not recommending using this number of, like, you shouldn't, when you have stack inserters, you shouldn't need to have both sides fed by 6. In fact, I was using only 3 for most of my playthrough, 3 inserters per wagons for most of my extreme SpaceX, so yeah, bear that in mind. Okay, how are we going to mine this lot? Let's start, say, here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There is no point going further than 13, unless we don't want to have to come back to the mine. Because that's as much as a yellow belt can carry. So that's 2. I think even my super slow bots are better at getting rid of rocks than I am. So let's let them do that. This will be 3, and this one will be 4. How do you get 13? Well, these things do just over half an ore per second, and so 13 on both sides will be 13 overall. And if you look at yellow belt, you can see that it's 13.33 items per second. So yeah, it is 13 electric mining drills to fill a yellow belt. So really that's 1 yellow belt per each of those. That's probably okay. What we probably want to do is have them all we'll need 2 there, won't we? Make a quick balancer here for, is there a good reason why we want a balancer here? They should actually come onto this balanced, so there actually isn't that good a reason, but we'll use one anyway. Oops. And over here, a very simplistic stacking mechanism for now. Question is this enough capacity to supply our... Well, it's certainly enough to get going with our plastic, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to give us our 4 lanes of plastic. Oops. There we go. Done. As far as powering this slot up. And over here, I actually could get rid of these small electric power poles. They work, so why not? Sounds like a video has finished processing in the background. That's excellent. We're just really using these poles up. You can actually burn them off, and when I get round to a wood recycling setup, I will probably do just that, but we're not at that point just yet, so let's just get some coal up and happening and worry about that later. This is a pretty massive field of coal. It should serve us for all the early game, I think. What is it? It's 44 million, yeah. 44 million, so that's pretty good. This is not looking like a compressed belt for some reason. Mining power. Does coal need more? Is that because it's backing up? I'm not sure. I don't think that's because it's backing up. We may need some smarts here to say don't pick up stuff. Well, in fact, we're only using 4. Maybe the smartest thing is to go, we don't actually need these N1s. That's pretty smart too, because that saves UPS, which is always a smart thing to do. It would help train loading to have 6, but on the other hand, it will also help train loading to use stack inserters. So when we get to that, that's what we'll do. For now, what I want to do is get this train in there, because we may as well use this train. Quite sure what the train stop's called. In fact, no, I can't. Oh yes, I can. This can be called Coal 1 Load, I guess, just to make that obvious. And this train can be set to go to Coal 1 Load until inventory full. Off you go, buddy. In the next. Bye bye for now.